Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Talking to Myself, the part of the day where I stand up, sit down, talk to myself about things that I was thinking the night before. Shout out to all 500 subscribers at the time of me making this video. I truly do appreciate it. Shout out to Saratoga Peanut Butter for, well, you know exactly why Saratoga Peanut Butter, because your delicious creamy peanut butter mixed with many different types of flavors and many different types of, different fruits and berries make for an amazing experience that anyone, man, child, woman, boy, whatever, can really enjoy. So shout out to Saratoga Peanut Butter and your amazing organic peanut butters. This message is not sponsored or affiliated with Saratoga Peanut Butter at all. You just seem delicious. And also shout out to my dog for being a lazy sack of shit every single day of his life, but he's a beautiful, cute, cuddly lazy sack of shit. And even though he makes a mess in my house because he's destroyed at least 17 toys and he always likes to chew on something that he shouldn't, even though he has these million of toys, it just makes me happy to know that he feels loved every single day. You beautiful, beautiful, dumb animal. Mwah. Shout out to Fujifilm for apparently the Fuji rumors about the 33 1.4 were true, and I barely found the chart from Fuji rumors, which who knows if that's completely true, but I'm just going to go off it when we discuss that today. Shout out to young Ansel who got his Ricoh GR3 hopefully yesterday in the mail. Shout out UPS for not fucking him over. Truly do appreciate you, even though I have a vendetta against you and USPS, you sacks of shit. So I'm splicing this in really quickly just to tell you that I went out and about today, and so I took my camera with me to take some photos. If you're looking at specs, I'm not going to tell you any specs, but if you want to check out any specs and that's what you care about the most, follow this link right here. Have a good one. And shout out to the Pro3 with a 35mm 1.4 on there. You're doing a fantastic job, baby. I truly do appreciate you. I love you for who you are. And finally, actually, shout out to Mr. Kiefer. You know exactly who you are for recommending the Nikon Light Touch to me. So I actually bought yesterday or the day before the Olympus X-H2. I was originally going to get an XA, but then talking to the guy who was selling it, it seemed too good to be true, and I kept talking to him, asking him questions, and he kept, kind of stammering, wouldn't send me any extra pics for the inside so I could see the seals to see if I was going to have to replace him. Turns out the whole thing was fake. He deleted that and his account, and we were good, and it looks like maybe he had been someone who would trying to do a little bit of scammy pooing. So sucks for that guy because I totally ruined his weekend. But because of that, I was able to get me an XA2 for cheap because it looked like complete and total shit, but it works. It was tested. It is guaranteed and returns are accepted. So my homeboy told me about the Nikon Light Touch, sent me a few sample photos from it, and I was completely in love. And he totally got me because he showed me photos on, first off, he sent me 3 photos, one of a car, one of a chicken, one of a family photo selfie taken with that camera. The lens is pretty damn sharp. Second off, he had it, the photos that he took were on Tri-X 400. You got me right there. Third off, then he told me it was 28 millimeters, one of my favorite focal lengths, if not my second favorite focal length. So I was completely sold. So what I did was that I immediately purchased that camera. I tried to find it as cheap as I could. Not really, I kind of just found the first one that looked like it was in good enough condition and purchased it. I probably could have searched and got it cheaper, but who really cares at this point? So I have an Olympus XA2 point and shoot, and then a Nikon Light Touch point and shoot coming. Super duper small cameras, both of them. I understand the Olympus XA2 has a cult following, but we're just gonna see. They're both 3.5 aperture cameras. They're both focus-free cameras. I haven't really messed with the Light Touch at all ever to be able to tell you exactly how they work, but the big difference is one's a 35mm, one's a 28mm. I'm not a huge 35mm fan unless it's on film or on a point and shoot, and I have to, like on the X100T, because of the fact that I feel like it's not wide enough and it's also not tight enough. So what I'll do is I purchased 3 rolls of Ilford HP5, 3 rolls of Tri-X, 2 rolls of Ektar 100, and then I'm gonna purchase 3 rolls of superior, well, I guess, is it even superior? It's I didn't know that whenever I gave up that box of 5 rolls of Pro 400H from Fujifilm, that I was giving up one of the last rolls or boxes and rolls of that because it's discontinued. I didn't know that. It's been a while since I've shot film. I haven't kept up with it, but really sad day because I really do like Fujifilm colors and Fujifilm film stocks, and that one I felt like you could really get nice blues from the sky. And I just like the look that Fujifilm does. It's really good on scan, dude. I guess I can't find that, so I'll be shooting with something else. So I'm gonna put all that film through it, make it look nice, take some photos, and whichever one feels the best while I'm shooting and which one I kind of grab more and gravitate towards, I'll keep. I'll sell the other. And then whenever it comes to, you know, the photos, I really won't judge it on I'm really not going to judge it on the sharpness because 3.5, everything's going to be in focus. It's going to be film photos. I'm going to get them printed at CVS. Just cut me some slack. It's mostly so that I can, you know, just have a nice point and shoot to be able to print stuff out on. So that's that. I bought so the Nikon Light Touch and the X-H2. They'll be coming pretty soon, and hopefully I'll be able to pop something out. Maybe I'll make a video about my experience with them. I don't really know, but great job on both those cameras. As far as anything else, because I was originally looking for film cameras at thrift stores, I wasn't able to find any, but what I did find is these National Geographic magazines from the 70s. All of these are from 71. This one is July 71. This one is March 71, and this one is August of 71. These photos were taken in Oklahoma. These photos were taken in Southeast Asia, and these photos were taken in Norway and also on the moon. Cool, so Apollo 14. But I just really do like these, man, because the photos in these are pretty damn crazy. I always love whenever I get print with photos. I love hearing the stories from people. These writers are great writers, and the photos just pair so well with them. And so I like these more than anything. I actually prefer these over photo books. Now, of course, I got the Gordon Parks, the Nacho Lopez, and things like that photo books. But, you know, it takes a lot for me to buy someone's photo book just because I want stories to be told with it, and not just, you know, like I want in-depth stories, and I want to feel like I'm learning something and feel like I'm there. Like, paint me a picture, take me there, my guy. And with National Geographic, I feel like a picture's being painted, I'm taken there. Not to mention these photos. If you ever get your hands on some of these, the photos in this are freaking crazy, dude. And so I'm always curious, like, what did you take photos of this on? And whenever I find out what they took these photos on, it kind of makes me feel like, you know, it kind of makes me feel like I bitch a lot about the camera gear that I have, and makes me realize that, dude, literally it's super easy. This, like, and what I love is they tell you on the bottom part what they were shot with. So this was shot with Ektachrome. This is just so badass, dude. So, God, I love this. Anyway, these are just cool, man. Cool photos. I dig this. Bought these from thrift store, 50 cents each. National Geographic, that is a major go if you ask me. A great pickup, probably one that I'm going to be excited about, and I'm going to be checking back more to see if I can get any more of, because the photos in that, man, are really good. And to see, I like documentary photography as well, so I like 28mm focal length, and these are fantastic as far as documentary photos. A little bit sticky because I don't know why they're sticky, but now I'm kind of nervous because I think there were some nude ladies from Southeast Asia in these books. But that's that, man. That's my photo book, technically pickup for me. Another photo book that I really like, probably my favorite one that I have, is actually, it's called Life Magazine and the Power of Photography. And it's just a compilation of stories and photos from Life Magazine, and basically how they told stories and how they painted the picture of what was going on in reality. I love the way it goes from Life Magazine's inception all the way through things like civil rights and how it mishandled the characterization of people of color and black people in America, to how it like framed them, how the photos were taken, all the way up into the wars, how it was documenting military you know, issues with Vietnam, with the great wars and everything. I mean, it's a really good book. I recommend it to anyone. I got it for about $50 at Barnes and Nobles after tax, so probably about like 45 something, because we got a lot of books on that day. But it's a really good book, man. I can't say enough about it. One that I really like, and one of the reasons why I really do enjoy it is, again, because that documentary feel. The reason why I like that Nikon Light Touch and I'm excited about it because 28 millimeter, one of my favorite focal lengths. So that's that as far as with books and everything. And the last thing that I actually want to touch on and get to is the fact that I finally did see the Fujifilm Roadmap that everyone was talking about. And so let me just explain. For a while I've been saying I have not seen anything about the 33 1.4 because whenever I would Google Fujifilm Roadmap lenses, everything that would pop up first was the same one from 2021 for 2022, all that. It would always pop up. That's the first thing that would hit. I had to go to Fuji Rumors after going into a deep Reddit search, like I did with the 18 1.4 whenever I found out that was going to be weather sealed, to be able to find this chart on my cell phone to talk to me about what lenses are coming out. And so let me just share this with you. So we've already got the 18 1.4, but the other big ones that you might be interested in is there's going to be a 23 1.4 Mark II. It doesn't say if that's going to be weather sealed, but as we know, the 18 1.4, it was never said to be weather sealed in the roadmap, and we knew that was the direction they're going. They'll probably go with that direction. Two things I hope on the 23 1.4 Mark II. Number one, they keep it near the same size, okay? Add the weatherproofing, that's fine, but keep a manual clutch on it. Please keep that manual clutch on it for manual focusing. And number two, please put hard stops and dampen that manual focus ring for people like me who also like to manual focus sometimes. It is a lot more cost efficient and a lot better if Fujifilm does not make manual focus lenses that are just manual focus, but if they make these lenses that are autofocus with great manual focusing for whenever I feel like shooting manual, I can, because there are days where I want to shoot manual, and even if I didn't have the manual focus lenses, I would flip over to MF or to manual mode on my Pro3 just so I could go and shoot manual focus, because then I have all that data on there so I know exactly what I shot of that. It just makes it a lot funner. The 56 1.2 Mark II is going to come out as well. This may be great because they put a linear motor in it. Maybe it'll focus better in low light, but again, the one thing that I'm really looking forward to this is, can you put a clutch in there or dampen the ring and put hard stops for focusing so that even if it doesn't work well in low light, I can manual focus and still hit my focus. I don't think companies realize that in low light, if a lens doesn't perform well in low light, all it takes is the ability for you to be able to manual focus well on that lens to be able to make up for some of those issues. Because if I can manual focus in low light on a lens that's fast and I can hit focus and sharp and not be twisting my arm like this on the last 56 I felt like, or even on the 18 f2, I'm twisting for days. It makes a big difference. Why? Because I feel comfortable hitting focus with that. I can still shoot at 1.2, dot them on the eye. I'll have my peak focusing, since that probably works better for low light than split and prism. That'll be great. The other thing is the 150 to 600 millimeter. What a big ass lens. So if you do the 1.5 crop factor, does that technically make it, let me get this right, does that technically make it 300 to 900 lens from Fujifilm? When a 1.5 crop factor, 150 and a 1.5 crop factor would make it around 225, correct? Maybe. 600 and a 1.5 crop factor, half of 6 is 3, so that means 900, right? So 225 to 900. If I'm correct, I don't even know if I'm correct. I'm really interested to see what the hell that lens does. That's just crazy that it's a zoom lens, because sometimes you see those with really static lenses, prime lenses like an 800 f8 or a 600 f8 or something like that. But if it is actually able to get 225 to 800 or 900, shit, that's going to be a huge lens. Again, it is an XF lens. That's going to look hilarious with your X-T4 or your X-H2 on the back of that. And that's the thing that I'm going to get to next. But 33 1.4 is the last one, and that is for sure going to be WR. That, of course, is going to be a new lens. It is an actual 50 millimeter focal length instead of, in here right now, we're about to see how well this Fujifilm 1.4 does at 1.6 because the light's coming out in the back, so I'm going to be a lot more backlit. Ooh, it's coming out heavy too. It's going to change the exposure of the whole scene. But the 33 1.4 WR, so it is going to be weather sealed, of course. I'm trying to see how big it is. Please put a clutch focus on there for manual focus. But I'm curious to see how big it is. If it's not too big, it may be one that I kind of go out and grab for funsies. Will it replace the 35 1.4? No, it will not. Unless if for some weird, awkward, honest to God reason it has miraculously some of the character at 35 1.4, I feel no reason to replace it. I like the images out of 35 1.4 for the way they look and feel more than I like the focal length, if that makes sense. Focal length is great. 50mm is my favorite focal length, but anyone can make a 50mm, and you can buy a 50mm from anyone, but it's about the look and the feel. That's why the Canon Nifty 50 is so great. It's just a meh regular focal length, but everyone needs a 50mm, and that's exactly the way I feel about this, but the bonus is that it looks damn good. But the biggest thing is, if they're releasing this 50 to 600, or this 150 to 600, if they're releasing all these Mark IIs and stuff like that in 2022, they've got to be releasing a new body, right? And they can't be releasing they can't be releasing an XT5. There's no way they're going to release an X Pro 4, right? And so if that's my thinking and that's the direction they're going, that means the X-H2 has to hit in 2021, does it not? Because you want to release that body at the same time with these lenses, and if these lenses are majority Q1, that means that we're not going to have to wait till the end of 2022 like some people thought for the X-H2. And even more, if all these lenses are going to be weather sealed, and if they're releasing a 150 to 600, does that mean we're going to get the chunkier, beefier X-H2 that is actually going to be the flagship? Because that means they're going to have to update some stuff. They're going to have to, it's going to have to be optimized with the OIS. It's going to have to be optimized with not only the weight, but the flange. Like, it's going to have to be beefy to handle that 150 to 600. I can imagine that to be a very, very heavy lens. So does that mean we're going to get like the big chunk, like, because I like the X-H1. Does that mean the X-H2 is going to be a badass big boy? Does that mean it's going to have a grip on the bottom? Like, I didn't mind the X-H1 with the grip because I knew what I was using that for. That was a stills first camera for me, videography second, but it wasn't too heavy. Now, when you get with the EOS R and stuff like that, that's a heavy camera with the grip, without the grip, and then with the grip on there it is. If the X-H2 comes with that grip, does that mean they're adding on internal, does that mean they're having everything in it for a headphone jack and stuff like that? I mean, they're having an HDMI out. Does that mean maybe they might have a mini XLR? Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff to it. So I'm really excited about the X-H2. I have not seen that many rumors about it. I literally haven't. It has to have an upgraded sensor. It's going to have great video capabilities, but that means potentially the photography side of that camera could be fucking wildly wild, like disgustingly wild when you consider the camera lenses that they're coming out with it. I'm about to end this video real quick because this bloom in the back is kind of bugging me. It's supposed to be cloudy today, and it's not cloudy at all. That's funny to me. Hopefully I get focused, but anyway, those are things I'm thinking about. That's what I'm hoping for. Thanks for listening to the whole gigantic rant. On Saturdays, these videos don't do good. Also, someone just let me know not to upload 2 YouTube videos on the same day because the YouTube algorithm f***s you over. Did not know that. It's kind of bums because I had a couple of days where I wanted to release a couple, but apparently that's not good for you. So it's 8:51, and it's on Saturday, and I'm about done. So have a good one.